Okay.
There it is.
Now, what was you saying about Shawn Michaels' pants?
Shawn Michaels shouldn't have worn them goddamn jeans in that match. It bothers me.
You love all Shawn Michaels pants.
No, I don't.
Especially the brown ones.
Pants?
You love the brown ones. You've been on record said you like the brown ones.
We don't acknowledge doo-doo pants, Shawn Michaels. That was a terrible idea.
That was great.
You loved it. You said that was his best
title.
Everybody
you said that was his best gear.
No. Everybody was so happy for him. They didn't want to hurt his feelings. He just found Jesus, so they was just like, it's good to have you back, Shawn. You not cussing people out and being mean to folks.
It doesn't work for me, brother. So what was his name? Jack Frost. No, what was his name in the Young Rock?
What was his name?
Wasn't Jack Frost?
No, it wasn't. It was something. It was Tim Frost or something like that. Who knows? Anyways.
Hold on. Google will tell me.
But now he's got to fight. Yeah, ask Google.
Now he's got to find it.
Chad Frost.
Chad Frost, yeah.
I said Jack Frost. I was close.
Played by Elton E. Williams.
They never explained why that happened. Like, why did he not? I know he had beef back there with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is still kind of hanging around, but it's okay. Well, we are here in the holiday season.
Mean to his cousin.
He probably was. He probably was meaning to The Rock, especially when he was injured. Like, it's not like he was still at the top of his game. I mean, he was there around the same time. Anyways, the red light is on, good brothers, and we are here. I'm feeling festive. It's the holiday season as we prepare. I never thought I'd be saying this, but yes, gentlemen, today's show, we are going to say goodbye to the in-ring career of John Bartholomew Cena. I'm not really sure if that's his middle name, but
Felix Anthony.
How do you know these things? He's the Swabby of pro wrestling. Felix Anthony Cena. We'll just call him John Cena because John Cena is officially wrapping up his in-ring career at Saturday night's main event. And this is it, fellas. This is it. We complained about John Cena. We celebrated John Cena. We're going to talk about all these things, all the moments, all the highs, the lows, all of our favorite times where John Cena made us happy and all the times that we weren't as thrilled. And we're going to briefly talk about how do we think this will all end. Not to mention, we'll get into Saturday night's main event. What did you watch and all the fun stuff that we usually do. So buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. The Rest Around the podcast is back for another week as we enter the holiday season. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
That's a John Cena size woo. Welcome to the Wrestling Around Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm your host, the Realness, the Real Dwayne Allen. We're here to say goodbye to John Cena, and he is your host, Mr. Super Producer, Brother Hugh, A to the A to the S, T to the H to the D, 3 to the R to the D, who is not in the building. He is doing some real good stuff, and he is your host, not just any guy, but the Belt King himself. Brandon the Guy is in the building to talk a little John Cena, one of his all-time favorites. And he is your host, the man, the myth, the legend. And still, in 2025, as we enter into 2026, and not too long, Mr. Still Your Goddamn Show, the heart and the soul, the founder of the wrestling realm, the man, the myth, the legend with this John Cena shirt and his shape up.
Hollywood!
Bryan H. Ward.
I don't even have a shape.
It doesn't matter. All them Hogan poses. You see, I was like, okay, so you'll do
Hogan that. Cena, when goats meet goats, they go meet the goat,
Whatever.
Well, we wouldn't even be here if it was for Hogan.
Oh, come on. Here we go. Well, how do you... This is a show about Cena, who most people consider the greatest of all time. I was listening to some of the fans and their testimonies, and I had this one dude said, like, man, you're like a father figure to me. He didn't look like he was that much younger than John Cena. Okay, but how did you bring Hogan into this, man? We're not here to talk about that. We know
you sold it.
You threw me off. I was trying to do the intro, and you're posing like Hogan when we talk about John Cena. You did that, okay? You did the little
Hogan
Tony
Cena.
Oh, okay. No, I get it. I see what your nonverbal communication.
Remember that match, that 6-man tag, Hogan, Cena, Shawn Michaels.
Don't.
Epic. It was generational.
It wasn't.
You had the golden era.
It was forgettable.
You had the ruthless aggression era. You had where the attitude era meets the new generation era. It was a Monday Night Raw thing. It was just for the pose down.
No, it wasn't. It was if Jonathan
wasn't watching then.
If Jonathan wasn't, was that during the what do we call? What'd you call that era again?
The week before, forgettable era. It was, but it wasn't there yet. It was the week before Hogan, Shawn Michaels kicked Hogan out of his.
Oh, okay. I was there for that. What are you talking about? Was I watching? Yeah, I was watching wrestling that time.
That was a good Monday Night Raw.
No, it wasn't. Business. That was. If Jonathan doesn't remember it, it wasn't a good. It wasn't a good. It doesn't count. That was ruthless aggression era. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was way before he was even thought about.
Well, kind of, yeah. Anyways, well, we're here.
Shout out to Matt. How about them Orioles, Matt? We made a big move today.
I'm not impressed.
What?
I'm not impressed.
Pete Alonso, the home run king.
I love Pete Alonso a couple years ago, but this has a lot of Ravens vibe. It's like DeAndre Hopkins on the Ravens. Like
no.
You're coming a little late into the mix. That's all I'm saying.
He's only 7. He's 32.
Okay.
He's 7 years veteran. We need a vet, and he's a big bat. It's different because you can play baseball longer than you can play football. It's not. Trust me.
It doesn't solve my pitching problems, but
it's more Derrick Henry than it is DeAndre.
Okay, fair enough.
As you would say, follow your boy on this one.
Okay, listen. I take your word on it. I trust you. If you say it, okay. Now, if this goes left field, you feel me?
I own it. I will own it.
Fair enough.
Because I ain't get excited about Tyler O'Neill last year. I just wasn't, Okay. But I'm excited.
You change your mind. Okay. All right. Well, that's that. Like I said, when is it? Spring training should be happening sooner rather than later. But guess who's training?
February.
Yeah, February, right? Yeah, it should be.
Gunther, that's straightening. I say Gunther because somebody on the Lakers bench looked like had a Gunther face. I'm about to turn this game off because we lose.
Yo, Donovan Clingan for the Portland Trailblazers that went to UConn. That's Gunther's son. Looks just like him. And he started putting on weight too. He's not skinny anymore. So it looks like Gunther. But we are here.
Like Walter.
No, he's not that big. He's not
okay.
He's not that big. He's not that kind of way. Like he was skinny kind of guy. I was like, he's not Gunther just yet. But now he's putting on a little muscle. We're here. We're festive. We're in a good mood because we're wrapping up one of the greatest careers in the history of the industry in John Cena. We're saying goodbye to yes, please do. We're saying goodbye to the in-ring career of John Cena. Now, I've watched maybe 1 or 2 interviews. There's some information that we have, right? We got some tidbits about some things that shout out to Brother Hugh in the comments. He will be joining us via the comments. I forgot to say, yes, Brother Hugh he's got a major project that he's working on. He got a new toy and he's been tinkering. So shout out to Brother Hugh. If you want to,
Brutus the Barber beefcake going right now.
If you want to see Brother Hugh's 2 cents on the show, even though he's not here with us right now, trust me, we will put his comments as much as possible up on this show. So shout out to you, sir. But yes, we're here to celebrate.
We love you.
If that's your fans, in case you didn't know what that sound was. We're here to celebrate one of the greatest careers in the history of the business. We gave this guy a hard time a lot, whether it was his fault or not. I've watched some interviews. I've watched some perspectives. And this is going to be one of those shows where it's going to be very highly opinionated. And the fans are going to be privy to see where each wrestling fan stands with a lot of different things and a lot of different moments. So this should be a fun show. Not to mention, like I said, we're going to get into a little bit of a Saturday night's main event. We're not going to go into too much detail about it. But with that being said, man, we're not going to waste much more time, man. We're going to jump right into the show. So without further ado, we're going to ask our good friends and co-hosts, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, to do us the honors and help us start the show the correct way by ringing the bell ceremoniously. Took my time this time. Gentlemen.
Want to ring the bell? Ding, ding.
Realness.
Every week on Bryan ain't just cutting up. I got to get through this. Every week on the Wrestling Room Now podcast, we do a segment where we discuss what we watch. We watch a lot of wrestling throughout the week. to make sure our minds and our hearts stay in the right place that has these intelligent conversations each and every week on this podcast. And this is no different. So without further ado, we're going to get into one of my most favorite segments of What Did You Watch? Brought to you by our good friends at SeatGeek. If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, well, you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. All right, good brothers, what did you watch? Who wants to go first? What did you guys get into this? There's one. Okay, Bryan is just cutting up because Brother Hugh's not in the mix.
Nah,
and
because I just got a message to give to you, and this is from the good homie Jason Benowitz. Now, for people who don't know, Jason Benowitz is an influencer in the Baltimore Orioles community. But he's tuning in late right now, and he's going to be there Saturday night, and he's excited to see John Cena's last match. So what is he doing to get ready for Saturday night? He's tuning into the Wrestle Realm Now podcast. But he just said, hey, get your boy for not being impressed with Pete. So shout out to Jason for watching.
It's not that I'm not impressed with Pete. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not sure that solves my problem when it comes to the Orioles. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, but so that was the one part. And I before that, I wanted to borrow 20 seconds.
Go ahead, let it rip. What you got?
I wanted to surprise you for something.
Oh,
more so in the show.
This is not going to go well.
Because we talk about good old Cena, right? Mm-hmm. And this journey that we've been on. And you said, what did I watch this week? Let me just show you what I watched real quick. Can you see my screen?
Oh my! Hold the phone. Come out. Oh man!
Can you see my screen?
This is a throwback indeed. This is the death to Team Bring It. Hold on, I gotta preface this because people gonna look at me like I'm insane. This is the.
Oh shoot! I didn't mean to hit play.
At WrestleMania.
This is the Death to Team Bring It promo that I did back in what year was this, Bryan? Of course you
2012 ahead of WrestleMania 28. Once in a lifetime.
This is when The Rock first came back, and I was thoroughly disappointed. And Bryan H was all about being Team Bring It. I'm like, Team Bring It. I'm like, Team Bring what? This is not The Rock that I grew up on. I actually sided with John Cena in this space. And ladies and gentlemen, this is you guys are getting like a breaking exclusive about you get to see something that I don't think you've ever seen before. So you're going to see realness in 2012. And this is back when we first started the Wrestling Realm, and we were doing we were living out our dreams as pro wrestlers. And one thing we used to do a lot when we first got started was we did a lot of promos, whether it was commercials or vignettes. We did a lot of stuff that kind of, it was our chance to do what the wrestlers do. And at the time, nobody was taking that type of approach when it came to a particular wrestling show. And this situation was no different. So this was Death to Team Bring It, my promo against The Rock and once in a lifetime before the match at WrestleMania with The Rock and John Cena. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all get a chance to see. Matter of fact, this is a time travel moment, too. I can't believe Bryan H brought this back up, and I'm going to get you back for this one, buddy. So, Bryan H, let it rip. This is the realest Death to Team Bring It promo.
Look, we can do the whole thing. This is the preview for it.
Go ahead.
Team Bring It dies at WrestleMania 28.
This is bro, this is like the RF video era. Remember everybody's gonna shoot videos?
Look at the logo! Look at the logo!
That's back when you were still Mr. Main Event B-Dub. Is this the full video now?
Of a superstar finally returning to the ring. The one we've always known and loved. The one who single-handedly carried the torch.
You let me know when his stop.
After Stone Cold Steve Austin was injured. The same one who left us in the dust with nothing to look forward to. Going off to Hollywood, making movies, dancing around in dresses and wigs like a tooth fairy.
I hated that movie, by the way.
Team Bring It. Team Bring It sounds to me like a bunch of mindless followers lost in their own dreams of deception of where they used to be in life, hoping and wishing that maybe the Attitude Era might come. So the minute something even reminds them remotely of a time that used to be, they all fall at his feet. The Rock. We all know and love him. But where is the respect? The respect for a man who has single-handedly carried this business when he left.
That's right.
A man that single-handedly makes a star on the WWE roster remotely important, even if it is for a matter of seconds. Where is the respect for the one who is solely responsible for the survival of the WWE product today?
Preach realness.
It's unacceptable. This ain't like you, Rock. Not the Rock that I knew. This ain't the Rock that I used to know.
3 minutes.
Team Bring It isn't the same team that I used to be on.
I'm
The
captivated.
Rock that I knew, he came.
See, you see the darkness? Look at that. You can't see my face.
The Rock that I knew came out and he could destroy an opponent without even saying a word. The Rock that I knew single-handedly took out the entire corporation with just a wave to the crowd and a simple turn. The Rock that's back now, I don't know who that is. But of course you mindless slaves known as Team Bring It seem to be falling over this fallen superstar of yesteryear. At the end of the day, nothing needs to be said.
Wow.
Because Team Bring It dies after WrestleMania.
I love that whole lightning and thunder thing I used to do all the time. Look at that. By the time you got the name change, look at that. Good God dang it, realness. I felt that one.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy.
Matt Reichel to have tweeted, "I'm dying."
Bro, that was
He's in the comments. Stephanie Hardy said she was just 18.
I sounded so skinny. I felt some type of way about The Rock coming back. Did
I shoot that?
You did. You came to the crib on the late, man. It was dark because remember that was a night shoot.
Yeah, we was outside.
I don't know if you was either fresh off work you came through, or it might have been one of the days you took off. Okay, yeah, because we made sure because I know exactly where that spot is. That's literally down the alley from my mother's house, like in front of a light pole. But look at the cinematography with that. Look at that. You didn't see my face. It was all darkness. We're filmmakers. That's good stuff. But yeah, man, I felt some type of way, didn't I? I was thoroughly not impressed with The Rock. It's crazy because I see this WWE Rivals, The Rock versus John Cena. I should put that on just to celebrate based off that. But why the heck did you even bring that up, Bryan? That's insane.
Because
I celebrated
the show. You was a real when you let me tell you what triggered the thought when you said he's probably ticked us off a few times over the course of the years, and I just thought about the dedication when you told me from day one you was a Cena fan because it wasn't cool yet. People wasn't around our age was not Cena fans, but you was there. You know, at that time where everybody was all about CM Punk. Hell, I even wrote about CM Punk in my sports editing class. Yeah, shout out to Frank Brown.
All the cool rebellious wrestling fans were all CM Punk people all of a sudden. Like, okay,
yeah, except Brother Guy because Brother Guy still didn't like him at the time. You know, but I was.
Are you sure?
Positive. Still didn't.
We was a realm divided. If you looked in the group, the Facebook group at that time, you were either Team Bring It or you was Team Cena. But I wanted to show the people that you
and I was Team Bring It.
Who was still John Cena even to this day.
Team Bring It all the way. Because I was sick of I put it like this. I never liked the rap gimmick. And then I didn't like the plucky baby face gimmick either. And I felt like it was like, oh, The Rock is here to save us. Because of what you said, he saved us from so much. I was like, thank you, he's back. Shut this man up. And there's one moment, we're going to get to it later, that made me turn and say, you know what? Cena's okay. So.
How do you go from all that and say, you know what? There was one moment and I said, okay, Cena's all right.
Yep. It's one very special. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's one real life moment and then one wrestling moment. So it's two moments that made me say, wow. And nope, didn't. If anybody comes out with the rapping street thug, type of gimmick, I'm always like, nope, come on, give me something else. It's been done, wash, rinse, and repeat. I'm so sick of that. And that's when he came up, Thug Life, Basic Thugonomics. I was like, here we go.
Bro, I used to hate that. My brother used to
I was
walk
like,
around
that
saying,
George
life. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Like, nope. Nope. I always feel like that gimmick is so wash and repeat. Nope. Didn't care.
Once he got to, he was kind of like, he was like post-rapper gimmick, but he was still wearing the jersey, throwback jerseys. And I'm like, okay, Cena's kind of cool. It was weird seeing him on Raw. Because, for so many years, that was dominated by the World Heavyweight Championship and that whole title reign / picture. But that's a great way. I'm all the way thrown off. That's a great way to start this show. But since that's what you decided to watch this week, Brian, brother guy, is there anything that you watch to get yourself mentally in a space to have the pro wrestling conversations we have each and every week, especially as we prepare for the end of John Cena's in-ring career? He is headed into retirement, in-ring retirement, of course. And we have Saturday Night's Main Event, all these good things coming up as we, we kind of make our, we kind of tread our way down the wrestling calendar. But what did you watch, brother guy?
So it's remember I said that one wrestling moment that made me turn the corner for Cena? It was him versus Daniel Bryan. That was SummerSlam, right? 2013. And we all know we were all Daniel Bryan fans, right? And I dare meet a wrestling fan that said they wasn't cheering for Daniel Bryan, just like all the people that sit there and say they wasn't doing the whoa or they wasn't doing the point. We were all yesing out of our seats, right? And Daniel Bryan was our guy, right? He'll face anything. Something about that match, watching that SummerSlam match and John Cena, that was the first time. And I'm saying for me, as a wrestling fan, I watched it just as a wrestling fan. I said, wow, this is the Cena that everybody was cheering for. This is the Cena. I get it now. Wow, why did it take Daniel Bryan to make me a believer in this man? And that's when I turned the corner completely. I was like, whoa. So I had to go back and look at that match again when I said, okay, it's coming to the end, because there's a couple matches I'm going to go back and watch that stick out to memory. His United States run, his first WWE championship, the undisputed, when he won undisputed looking title. But this moment always sticks out to me as my number one Cena moment, because that's when I opened my eyes and said, this is what's been shoved down our throat. This is what's special. And for Daniel Bryan to win clean with that psycho knee, it was like, oh. But the whole match told a story that I don't know if I just wasn't looking because maybe the Fruity Pebble color shirts was throwing me off. Maybe it was the run into the ring. I don't know. Maybe it was all the paraphernalia thrown at us. But it was just something about that match that was just special. So, yep.
Look at that. Brother guy giving us testimony about John Cena and the day that he finally turned the corner.
I mean, that's something to say about that.
We'll get into plenty of the John Cena conversation. I'm going to ask some really hard-hitting questions. The brothers have already given you kind of a prelude of how they feel about John Cena in the different eras, and in the ebbs and flows when it comes to John Cena's career. But before we get into that, I have something I have to say. I noticed something, right? So throughout this week, I watched John Cena's interview with Tom Rinaldi, but I've been watching a lot of interviews, right? And I watched Daniel Bryan's. No, it wasn't. It was a different type of interview, which I thought was really, really good. Is because think about it. If everybody's going to interview you, everybody can't ask the same questions, right? And
true.
You know what I'm saying? So like Tom Rinaldi does a certain type of interviews, and then of course he has like a Chris Van Vliet interview. That's one I have not watched. But I watched another Chris Van Vliet interview. I watched Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson did his interview with CVV. And I've noticed something. When wrestlers officially retire, all the secrets come out. And I'm watching Daniel Bryan on this. He did a shoot interview. He didn't do a regular interview. Yes. He let all this. I know for a fact he's officially retired. It's because he let all the cats out of the proverbial bag. He finally says, you know what? All these years, me and him is actually really good friends. Publicly.
That's the part that threw me off. I said, wait a minute. He really said that? He's like, and I was supposed to punch him. He was like, and then I knew something was wrong when I was like, y'all are friends? Oh, okay.
15 hours ago, my tweet said, Daniel Bryan killed kayfabe.
Real bad.
Last thing I thought was real isn't crying emojis.
That's the truth though. Cause I felt the same way. He's like, yeah, no, like they literally fed into what people were already thinking anyway. And I'm like, man, that's the genius level.
It was beautiful.
It's genius level because
Miz was trying to help him get back in the ring, get you back pretty much.
And even Daniel Bryan made a joke about it when he was like, yeah, Miz is finally starting to get. He's like, Miz is getting respect now, and he laughed. I was like, wait a minute, there still might be something here. And he goes, no, we people didn't really know, but we needed each other. To hear Daniel Bryan talk about why he went to AEW, the truth, like, look, man, I really went there because it was just different. We all knew it based off his style. He's like, oh, I'm seeing a company that's going to allow me to wrestle in a way that I used to wrestle before I got to WWE. We found out why he went from having this very menacing American Dragon look to this clean face. Because, we got mad at WWE. Oh, look what they're doing to Bryan Danielson. They're making him be clean cut. He's like, no, I did it to look extra nerdy on purpose because I knew I was going to be paired with Miz, and we already had this whole idea of what we were going to do. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. Because, he was fresh off the documentary he did with, remember, he did the documentary with his last run in Ring of Honor and Colt Cabana. They did that little mini doc. And then he was on his way to WWE because he had already signed. He went from the American Dragon to like clean cut Daniel Bryan. And we were all pissed. And then to hear him say like, yeah, I went to AEW because just the schedule was much lighter. Saying like him not hating WWE, like, no, like even the Bryan Danielson character is not really who I am. I'm like, I feel so deceived. He's like, no, like just like WWE.
He's a great actor.
He really is, though. He's one of the boys. And when I say one of the boys, it's the ones that protect kayfabe. Not anymore. He's done. But because, Kevin Nash and Chris Jericho will still tell you stuff that's not true. Like, well, they're going to still work the workers. And God rest his soul, if Dusty Rhodes was here, he probably would do the same. Because I think Cody does it a little bit his own self. But, guys who just always protect the business, it's very old school value. It's not something. I mean, I can't say those guys didn't come up in it because they probably did. I know the older guys did, Daniel Bryan, somewhat. But to hear him say, like, no, like going to WWE made me a better wrestler. I knew I needed WWE. Like, the Bryan Danielson character makes it seem like, I hate WWE because they won't let me wrestle and be who I really am. He's like, no, I needed it. He's like, no, this is what made I'm a better wrestler today because I went through that. Like, I wanted to learn this style, I wanted to be this way. And I'm like, man, you made it seem like you hated it so much, but nobody's ever as angry as how they come off.
I'm glad you brought this up because I was sitting in the car picking up my daughter, riding around, and I said, you know what? I owe Daniel Bryan an apology.
Oh, really? I got to hear this.
I owe him an apology. It all comes down to that WrestleMania match. I was hard on him a couple weeks ago, here.
What WrestleMania match?
The WrestleMania match, man.
No, which one? Which one? Which number?
WrestleMania 30.
30. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Because he said it didn't mean that much to him. And I was like, how dare you? It meant so much fun to the kids. Yeah. Why would you tell us that? Why? I don't need to know.
You definitely owe him an apology, bro.
And then after he said everything about his dad and his neck, his concussion.
He really means it, though. Like, he really probably doesn't remember. It was not good times for him. Shame on you, Brian. They're such a heel. Such a heel. You gotta understand how much that moment, like, I don't want to hear it.
That moment at that time meant so much to me.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I said, I'm sorry. I owe DB an apology. He always gonna be Daniel Bryan to me, goddamn, because Daniel Bryan is my favorite wrestler. He's in my top.
Did you text him?
Nah.
You need to text him.
He wouldn't answer it. He has less than an hour screen time per day.
He's not a phone guy. Him and Brock Lesnar. They're not phone guys.
Yeah. Well, Brock Lesnar's got screenshots. Daniel Bryan, no, he's not a phone guy. But shut up, brother. But yeah, so I owe Daniel Bryan an apology. I apologize.
All right, we got a public apology.
Yeah.
All right.
And now that we got that out of the way, as Steve Harvey would say,
I didn't feel as bad because I didn't do what Brian H did because I'm not a heel, for one. That's one. I'm a face. And two, when he told me,
because your heel days was at Morgan State University.
I mean, we did.
Going depth to Team Bring It.
Yeah, I was about to say, we saw a clip of it. Like, that was definitely a heel. If you saw my first promo in the wrestling realm, my introduction promo, which Brian H, I'll never let him live this down. The very first promo I cut on the very first introduction of the real Dwayne Allen to the wrestling realm. and you would know how much of a heel I was. Brian H literally said, "Cut. We don't want to upset anybody. We're all friends here." I'm like, who's all friends? All right, bro. You've been doing this for a while.
You know that's my biggest regret. You keep bringing it up
every single time. I'm not letting you let this one down. But anyways, but yeah, it's to hear him when he explained like, "Hey, look, this is the one match that my kids got to see me do. Both of them. You know, the son is a little younger, but you know, Birdie got a chance to see him, and he got to bring them in the ring." And I said, "Well, I can see why this moment felt more important to you than, you know, the WrestleMania moment, especially hearing, you know, hearing about this stuff. Then, you know, everything was good. You're married, concussion, neck hurts, father passed away. That's a lot going on. And it's probably why he used bad judgment and wearing those fur boots to the ring and wrestling. To this day, I don't watch that match because he has those fur boots on.
Oh man, I can watch it because that was a moment.
Is there a way we can we use AI to change his boots and I can just watch it that way? Is that possible?
Does that mean you would remove Shawn Michaels? And,
shoot, I didn't think about that. Gear? We could do that too. I could change his gear.
But you like the brown pants.
Oh no,
you like the brown pants.
Doo-doo pants will never be okay with me.
You are record with liking those brown pants.
And he had cowboy boots on.
I was playing Here Comes the Pain on my TikTok Sunday. And somebody pointed out the fact that Triple H got on the purple trunks that you hate.
I hated. First of all, I hated the purple trunks, and I hated Triple H.
I hate the biker shorts. That biker shorts. Well, I was like, this is weird.
I'm not mad about the biker shorts because I found out why he wore those biker shorts.
Yeah, the injury. But I'm like, just put your pants back on. You could just wear pants.
And it's such a popular gear. Like, he got like 4 different action figures from. I'm like, bro, why is everybody so obsessed with these compression shorts that he's got on? Like he's about to hoop. He forgot to put his shorts on.
So you probably hated Randy Orton's blue trunks.
No, I'm okay with Randy Orton's blue trunks. Randy Orton's trunks never bothered me. Shawn Michaels' pants did because that made him. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing? No jeans, no doo-doo pants. And to Brian H's point, on Here Comes the Pain, I was pissed because Shawn Michaels had on jeans and an NWO t-shirt in that game.
Definitely
not happy. Not happy. He was not my number one guy in the game. It was the Hurricane. I used to Hurricane a lot on that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Hurricane was my guy on that game.
I would say, though, WrestleMania 2000, playing that, fun game.
How was that for you, Brian H? Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know it, Brian H went live on TikTok, and he has been experimenting with some retro gaming. He's in a retro gaming space right now. This is an area that the wrestling realm has been trying to really tap into for a long, long time. We've been trying to find a way to figure it out. But I think Brian H might have struck gold with this one. He went on TikTok earlier this week. He's been playing a couple of games. What he'll do is he'll pick a game, and he'll talk about various things. He might bring on a guest. You never know. We got to find some type of name for this type of Brian H video game show, because I'm going to be on it soon. It's because Brian H and myself are going to sit down. We're going to finally play No Mercy, and we're going to have the moment that we should have had as children, but we met each other when we were grown. But I don't believe in growing up.
Past the level I can't beat.
Don't get your hopes up. That's the Bob is a video game guy. I'm just here for a good time. But he went on TikTok and he started playing his games, and he's been playing the retro games, and he's been trying out different video games that we've had debates about, things we like as wrestling fans. And most recently, one of those games has been WrestleMania 2000. We talked about SmackDown. Where's it at? It's around here somewhere. I still have it. Hold on. Yeah, I had Brian H's SmackDown game that I lost, and then I found it, but he already went and bought another one. So I still have this one. Brian H, I will get this back to you.
That's greatness.
And he's been trying to dive into his fit because he's a PlayStation guy, but he recently played WrestleMania 2000, and I think he did a really good job on the stream. But tell us about your experience playing WrestleMania 2000. On the Nintendo 64 and being on TikTok and this new whole video game show you got going on when you go live.
No, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people. I'll tell you, I gotta shout out my sister Krista B, because she came through and she's watching. We're talking about different things like wrestling theme music and whatever's happening, and then she's looking at this. Shout out to Vaughn Dillon, Quee PR in the chat, and acknowledge everybody.
Somebody else came through. Somebody else came through.
Who else?
It was me.
The chat. Oh no, I was just talking about our.
Oh my bad. My fault. I thought you was talking about the TikTok. I thought you was talking about the TikTok. I was like, bro, what are you saying?
Like, wait, what are we doing?
The front row seat.
Yeah, but you came through, and it's funny because Krista B has also video game experience, but I think she was more on the PlayStation side as well. So she's like breaking down how funny some of the characters look. Like, why does D'Lo Brown look like this? But it was fun. I always say this: the story modes on PlayStation is what I love, but what I do love about the Nintendo 64 games, what I'll never take away from the Nintendo 64 games, is that you can simply pick them up and play. It's easy to do the specials. It's easy to do the moves. And it's also, PlayStation is also, but just the way to structure the Nintendo 64 controller. And WrestleMania 2000 is fun. I'm interested because I saw somebody tweet this, and I can't say I agree, but they feel like WrestleMania 2000 is the best of the core four.
No, it's not.
And I think maybe it has to do with the roster. I don't know. I didn't go too far into the thread.
What roster? I'm confused. Go ahead, keep going. I'm just trying to think of what they could possibly be thinking.
I just think because they might have liked 99 better than 2000.
But it was all the same characters though, for the most part.
Yeah,
and we got more. We got more.
No Mercy also focuses more on the way the look of the pay-per-views from 2000, 2001, where No Mercy focused on what 2000, 2001 ish. WrestleMania 2000. If you was really heavy into the 99,
okay, that's fair.
That's the only thing I could think of, But it's the reason why when I go in the stores, as I go in my retro gaming stores, and I can almost guarantee every store usually has a wrestling video game, right?
True.
And Here Comes the Pain is always around the $39.99 mark. Maybe
$2 now still.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the same goes for No Mercy, between $34.99 and $39.99 mark. Those games are classics and epics. Now, I liked Here Comes the Pain, but it was just something about SmackDown too. Talk about that,
golly, bro.
Man, it's just something.
What is it about, bro? Like, what is it about these PlayStation games that Bryan? I'm sorry.
The never-ending stories at the time. I don't have time to do it now, but never-ending story modes. They were just so much fun, and you got to remember, at the time, we're coming off of Attitude. You got to remember that we're coming off of the Acclaim game.
Yeah, I agree.
THQ.
Yeah. That was definitely a huge upgrade.
And then the THQ games weren't great for WCW. No, WCW versus the World. Just the PlayStation people. WCW versus the World was good, really good. But the roster for Nitro and Thunder was better, but the gameplay was worse. They would have kept that gameplay the same way, fine. But
what about Nitro? You don't speak about that. Did you not have experience with that?
I had tons of experience with Nitro and Thunder, but it was just the fun part on those games. They don't age well. Like, I've tried to play them recently. There's no reversal. The cool thing was for me for Thunder, because my uncle Troy had bought that, and I remember I always like changing guys their factions, right? So I would put Bret Hart in the NWO Wolfpack just to see what his gear would look like. Put Sting in WCW, or put Sting in NWO Black and White, or even Sting in the Ravens flock. So you could do cool stuff like that with Thunder. But the gameplay itself, I don't know what they was doing.
Nothing was worse than Mayhem, though. Sorry. WCW Mayhem.
Yeah, EA Sports should have left wrestling
post THQ. Yeah.
And you know why that happened, right?
That was some issues with
they was mad that WWE joined the THQ. And again, another thing, oh gosh, Vaughn is right. Backstage assault was just even worse. Like, as bad as you think. Mayhem would say that again was the roster, because that's like the first game where you're getting to play with post NWO era, Bret Hart.
Bro, everybody walked around like this.
Yeah, but like I said,
bro?
The roster, you're getting to play with jacked up Macho Man, what a match. That's the first game you get to use that version of him. You know what I mean? So that's what made it like, okay, I'm going to play this. But then when you really think about it, it was like, EA Sports should have left wrestling alone.
I played with King Chaos on that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You had 64?
Yes, Nintendo 64. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, when I rebought it, I bought it on 64, but I had it on PlayStation. My memory of Mayhem is I got a $75 check to play one song.
Money.
Yeah. What was that, 11, 12, 13? I had to play one song for the United Mail Courses concert. And when there was not check but cash. And so then later that day, I went to the store with my mother, went to Kmart, and I walked in the PlayStation section, and it was like, WCW Mayhem. It's a wrestling game. It's new. I had never seen any commercials for it. Of course I was going to buy it, $39.99.
Yeah. We always
give
buy
me
it.
that.
It's wrestling. Yep.
Yeah, I bought it, played it. It was like, Went to church the next morning, talked to my godbrother. Yo, I just bought this new game, man. It's called Mayhem. It's all right. And then looking back at it.
Lying through your teeth.
Yeah.
It goes back to the conversation that we had. It was a privilege to be a wrestling fan during that time period. So you know what I mean? Anytime you got it, you accepted it and you treated it with a certain level of respect. Like, hey, man, it's a wrestling game. You know.
The next ones I realized the other day, I got to get on the ECW games. I had Hardcore Revolution, never had Anarchy Rules, but I got to get those.
Never played them.
Had TNA on PlayStation 3. I went to the store in Bel Air the other day called Retro Replay, and that's always like I said, it's in Bel Air. So when I go there, I gotta cop something, right?
You talking about Bel Air, Maryland? Or you talking about Bel Air Road?
Yeah, Bel Air, Maryland.
Oh, okay, so that's what. Yeah,
it's like the number, according to even the one they say it's like our number one store in Maryland as far as like retro stuff. But they had TNA on PlayStation 2, but I got to get on. I want to get the PlayStation 3 version. Now, for those of my peoples in Charlotte, there's a gaming store down there, and that's like one of the biggest. That's the one I sent y'all the picture of that had the gaming store. Y'all would love it because, especially Brother Guy, because all the Funko Pops. So in one section is all these games, and then the other section is Funko Pops. So me and Queen PR was in there during summer, and she was able to grab a couple pops, and then even this. Put it out there. Even this Barbie game that she had when she was younger, we found. That was like the first time I've ever seen that game. I was like,
definitely putting her out there.
It was like
we slide past that one, bro.
We're grabbing this.
What system was it on? Because my cousin had a Barbie game that you had to run around. Oh no, this might have been Super Nintendo. I'm about to text it because
I remember seeing that game too.
Yeah, that you went around. They would go around and put clothes and stuff on and walk around different malls and shop and stuff.
Yeah, we had a I bought the NBA, remember the NBA Inside game on PlayStation 3 that had the whole story mode? I bought that down there. Man, what? That was my game. But yeah, I'm always on the retro hunt. So if I'm I was actually even in San Antonio when I went for the Royal Rumble. In the mall they had some retro gaming store.
Okay. Yeah, you've been on you've been on the hunt for real. I told him, Brother Guy, I said, man, you about to be like me and Brother Guy, man. I think you found your niche, man. You found your thing.
Yeah,
he's been collecting games. Like Bryan is officially a collector. He's coming out to the world that, like, look, man, I'm in this space now. I don't know if I was supposed to tell him that, but
that's how stuff get clipped up, yo.
No, let people know that you are a collector. COLLE. I heard what you said. COLLECTOR.
Yeah, the collection. So. Yeah, the collection looking real good. My kids, like, even though my son is like, he only go back to PlayStation 2. My daughter, she just likes to have just the fact that I be collecting games.
Don't bring up that snob. About John Cena. He is such a snob when it comes to certain stuff.
My culture is not your costume.
He said, "My culture is not your costume." They said, "Bro, what's with everybody
check
with
out
glasses?"
The vibe check.
He said, what's with everybody wearing glasses? He said, because I can't see. He said his glasses aren't real. He said, my culture is not your costume. Anyways, shout out to my nephew. Jonathan's one of a kind.
Hey, he learned from you.
I feel like I didn't do it on purpose. He was watching. That's why you got to pay attention. The children are always watching. But just like the children are always watching John Cena. Man, we got to say goodbye to this man. Now, brothers, there's some information that we have. It turns out that John Cena, the character, is not necessarily going away 100%, but his in-ring career is officially done. But as far as being a brand name and an ambassador for the WWE, John Cena will still carry on that role. He said he signed a new 5-year deal with the WWE. So he's always the image, the character, the likeness will will be with WWE for the foreseeable future. We talk about the next 5 years. That's a lifetime in pro wrestling years. And I'm happy about that. And it makes sense that he would be, right? He's always he can always pop up at a WrestleMania just to, like I said, open up the show. He's talked about it, in that interview with Tom Rinaldi, and I got to watch the other ones because his media runs. And he talks about, just the, the things that he was doing that led to his retirement. Like, look, this is what it's coming down to. And this is kind of, but I'm happy to hear that he can stay on in this role. So how do you guys feel for the most part about John Cena's career, him calling the raps now? He's had one of the most epic, I guess, what do you call these things? Retirement runs that, in all the sports. Farewell tour, excuse me. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. He's had one of the greatest farewell tours in all the sports. You know what I mean? It's always good when a prime athlete can leave on their own terms in whatever fashion that may be. It doesn't necessarily mean that, they win a championship or they go out on top, but for him to be able to write his own story as he walks away, man, how you guys feeling about John Cena finally wrapping his career up, calling it a quits?
Well, thank God he's doing it, and he's letting us know his plans. Because let's call it what it is. Some people retire, and then magically they come back, and then they doing all these other things in other spaces. John Cena is saying,
Terry Funk,
Undertaker, I'm talking to you. Kane, I'm talking to you. But he's saying, I'm done with this in-ring portion, but I'm not done with the business. And the crazy part is now John Cena is going to be a character that's going to be bigger than the WWE, almost to the point when he shows up somewhere, is it going to be John Cena or is it going to be Peacemaker? You know what I mean? Because it's to the point now, he's so synonymous with wrestling, he's that character. We don't look at him as like the person John Cena. We look at him as that wrestling figure, just like you would look at him when he shows up as Peacemaker. Thank God he's telling us, hey, this part is done. So when you see him at a Mania, it's not like, okay, you done came back for the 76th time. Thanks. Okay, we get it. Thought you were retired. You hung it up. You left your boots in the ring. No, he's telling us that part is done, but I'm going to be here for the business. I think that's the best thing that he could have did now to stop people from guessing and stop people from wondering. So, yes, this might be the last time we see him not necessarily run to the ring, but compete in the ring, because I'm pretty sure he's going to get that adrenaline shot and want to run to the ring and welcome everybody to blah, 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 blah. Saudi Arabia, where they added 0, as Realness would say.
Another 0.
So, 0. Yeah. He might want to run to the ring and cut the promo and leave. But he's not doing anything in the ring. So I think it's perfect for him.
Signing, merchandise.
Still giving back to the fans.
Of course.
Still doing what he's known for. Still making wishes. He's still going to be making wishes. He's probably going to be the biggest person for that still. Because nobody's going to catch up his record.
Yeah, most likely. How about you, Bryan H? How you feeling about at this point in his juncture of his career, John Cena calling it quits the way that he's done it, and the way that, in this fashion, having this farewell tour, kind of going out on his own terms. Well, according to him, let me rephrase that, because he said he's not going out on his own terms, is because if he had it his way, he would do this forever. But he made a promise to the WWE fans in the universe that if he could not perform at the level that they were used to, he didn't want to be a shell of himself. So he's walking away gracefully because of the promise that he made not to underperform for the audience that he has performed for over 20 years.
It sucks. He underperformed. One people can make an argument he underperformed in the first part of the prime of his career, and then what I mean underperform is.
There you go. Hey, listen. Did you see the memo? This is a celebration of John Cena. You said he underperformed.
He went left field real first.
Think about it.
He let me down.
Uh-huh.
He let me down.
Go ahead.
It felt like after 2011, we started respecting John Cena more as an in-ring character, as an in-ring guy, right? We started really loving his matches. Now, you look at the matches like CM Punk, right? And then Daniel Bryan. So it's like, okay, now he's wrestlers. They're bringing out the best of John Cena. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Then,
okay. All right. Okay. You wanted something, Bryan H?
Yeah, this is what I do. So once he turned that corner, he never turned back. It was Sami Zayn. It was Neville. It was the whole U.S. Open Challenge. Seth freaking Rollins telling a great story with Bryan. You could even say The Rock. Then we move forward. Kevin Owens. AJ Styles. I mean, shoot, he put on a good match with Logan Paul. Solo Sikoa told a great story. So all of this talk, and dare I say Cody Rhodes, for me personally, the greatest match I've ever witnessed with my 2 eyes, the second one, because of the story they told. So John Cena can say, okay, he can't do this at a high level, but he can't act like he ain't give us a few years that was just like, oof. Even Triple H said, kid, you suck. And this is around the time he was the champion. Now, you can make the argument that Triple H probably felt like, I should be in that spot. He shouldn't be. The way John Cena turned that corner, then he never turned back. But he had quite a few years where it was just like, okay, you're kind of just playing the hits. I mean, him and Edge had some good matches, don't get me wrong. But I still think a John Cena that's slow is still better than 80% of anybody in the planet.
Wow.
But I get why he wants to always be able to give 100%. He has left it all in the ring with the storytelling. Yeah. And then when it came time to turn babyface again, the matches, he's left it all in the ring. And honestly, the only thing I'm disappointed in is that we didn't get him and Drew McIntyre.
Why is that? What was it so special about him and Drew McIntyre that you wanted to get?
Drew claiming he had stuff in the clip, and to see what Drew said, what he did with CM Punk, and he said, "Oh, you think that's something?" Now, of course, I'm going on what I'm hearing from one side.
Sure,
but
of course.
If I have to answer that question, that is the thing that's missing. I wanted to see, okay, Drew, we hear about the dirt sheets and the history that y'all had because of whatever happened. You claiming John Cena put a stifle to your career and held you back. How far can you go? Because we've seen Drew McIntyre when he turned that corner. Like, all that was supposed to be Punk and Rollins. But Drew found his way in there. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see that. But I didn't get it. It's fine. It's okay. I mean, shoot, I've had my dream match ruined at WrestleMania 40 already, so that don't matter.
Oh, gosh.
Just
can't let it go, can you? You lost.
No, I can't because I lost. And, they ruined my dream match, and they talk about it could be 42, and then I'll really be pissed. But Dylan says he's disappointed in the lack of heel turn. Stephanie says she's disappointed that him and no Carmelo Hayes. And again, these are valid points. I understand where they're coming from. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to say, oh, that's crazy. No, and I think the thing that with John Cena, because he's so good, I would have loved to see, him be able to physically do more dates. Like, that way we could have got some of those dream matches, the Carmelo Hayes, the Trick Williams, the Obafemis, all the other wrestlers. Like, I would have loved to have been able to see that. But unfortunately,
can I raise you on Hollywood? Can I raise you on? Can I raise you on Hollywood? Now, John Cena also, he told us in that interview that he originally wanted to schedule himself to do 200 dates. Like, he was going to do a full WWE schedule. Like, you know what I mean?
He wanted the full thing.
Yeah, he said he literally like put everything aside. This was supposed to be his down year, his relax year, get himself together year. And he said, I'll take on 200 dates. And they were like, we don't need you for 200 dates, because they probably already had their plans. They got their talent. They know John's leaving and they got to move forward. And they literally said, hey, look, we had 36. That's a drastic drop from 200 to 36. Does it change how you view the situation, knowing that he wanted to do 200 dates and have probably more of those moments that you spoke of, having those bouts with the younger talent like a Carmelo Hayes and people that might have need the rub rather than like maybe him not physically being able to do it, but just WWE saying, hey, look, we kind of already got something in place. We'll fit you in. We'll think it's great, but this is what we'd rather do versus, hey, we're not going to stop what we're doing to build around you one more time. Because essentially, it kind of sounds like, hey, look, make the company revolve around me just for this year. And then I'm done. They're like, we can't put everything on pause for that long just to, hey, this is how we can do it.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? Does that
he was still under the old way of thinking. He was thinking like somebody else was still in charge. It would have been the year of Cena if nothing else would have happened.
But they told him, John Cena said that they told him that. They said, that's not our business anymore. They said, this is our business. So what he did was, this is what he showed me as this change. I don't know, your outlook or how you look at the situation, knowing this information now, where he said the business has changed. Like I said, pro wrestling went from a live event business to a television business to more now of a content business. And when he put it that way, I said, okay, this is something most people probably have never taken into consideration. Like, no, WWE, right, is now a content creation company because everything revolves around content. We have our own conflicts with, who they bring in because they're concerned about the content they can get from it rather than, you know what I mean? It went from a live event business to a TV business to now a content creation business. And they told me, they said, look, that isn't our business anymore. This is our business. And John was like, oh, okay. That makes sense now once they told it to me, like Brother Guy said, he was thinking in the old way. But does that change your outlook on his approach to this, knowing that it was WWE to kind of let him know, hey, listen, this is how much things have changed and this is how you fit into it versus, or do you still kind of feel the same way?
No, and the thing is, I'm just to be clear, right? I never looked at it as he didn't want to give me like the matches I mentioned, like he didn't want to do that, because I'm kind of figured that. I was like, okay, it's only 30 something dates. It's probably because of the exact reason, right? Just the way the business is going, and he's still, because I guess he might be doing movies right now. I don't know. But I didn't hear too much.
He said he originally he wasn't. He put everything on hold, but then he did. He didn't say specifically what he was working on, but he was able to do other stuff. He was like, well, because he said he put everything aside because he went in with the intention of, I'm going to do 200 dates. Yeah,
and that's what I think because I heard that. I feel like he said at Money in the Bank or alluded to last year that he was giving us all he had this year.
Yes.
It was going to be about him. So I'm not disappointed because I feel like if he could have, he would have. You know what I mean? So like I mentioned the matches that that's mentioned in the chat. I feel like if he could have done that, the John Cena that we've been seeing, he would have did that, But so I'm not disappointed at all. I think if anything, I'm happy. I'm happy what he gave us, from the heel turn. It didn't bother me as much. I blame The Rock, and, I don't like blaming The Rock too often.
Oh, we know. We saw the Def to Team Bring It promo. You were the guy holding the camera, and you were not on the same team during that era.
Yeah, but I blame The Rock. I blame The Rock for that dumbass explanation. Talking about, I realized sometimes you just got to shut up and sit it out. Just let us think whatever we think.
Do you think he's telling the truth, though? Come on now. Don't fall for that, Bryan H. Do you think he just wasn't blowing smoke up our tail just because he knows something's going to go down this weekend?
See, thank you. I'm glad thank you. It's The Rock or Kevin Owens. I'm going to die on this mountain that Kevin Owens his neck isn't broken. And I think they did everything's a misdirect you to see what you can put out there in the universe. Because what did he say? Yeah, we asked the universe that they want me and AJ, and guess what? They did, so we did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust The Rock. It's because The Rock had what's his name that was up in the frenzy on Busted Open. What's the guy's name? There it is. Dave LaCracker. Bryan, they say he's talking about other podcasts.
Nah, shout out to Dave. Dave, cool dude, man.
Dave lost his ish. That's a grown man that was on his show, livid, and Rock had to say, brother, you gotta let the show go on. And I think that for us as wrestling fans, that was one of those pivotal moments when I was like, they're not turning it off, bro. They taking it into the Twitterverse and on social media. And he's like, yo, you gotta just go along for the ride.
Which one of y'all willing to put on a pink robe?
Well, are you Ric Flair? Maybe.
I'm saying which one of us go put on a pink robe and go on a rant? Not LaGreca. Gerwurst follows me on Twitter.
Don't get us banned, Bryan. Usually when you start getting too much, people start. And they don't just not follow you; they get mad at us too.
No, me and Gerwurst cool.
And block us.
I bought his book.
And blockers.
Right, blockers.
I got his book, man. Check out Bryan Gore's book. I'm saying that's how it happened. Gore saw it. He sent it to The Rock. So I'm saying, who's willing to take one for the team? Brother Hugh would. You know, while he's out saving whales right now.
Absolutely.
What's he doing?
He's saving the whales. Dishwashing liquid, and he getting the ink off the whales from the octopuses in the Atlantic Ocean.
Such a humanitarian. But
he said he was being Aquaman for the
day. You mentioned the heel turn, but you're convinced that it had something to do with The Rock's explanation, and that wasn't on purpose. Let's say it wasn't, right? Do you think that if the plans would have worked out differently, his heel turn wouldn't have kind of not fallen flat, but just it wasn't as yeah. It wasn't as massive as we all perceived it, or could have been, because it started off real dark, and then it kind of lightened up a little bit, and then it was kind of like, wait, what just happened? And you know what I mean? You know, Travis Scott came out there, and that host, and then all of a sudden he wasn't really part of the WWE. He was a big part. Now he was. Nobody mentioned his name except Drew, because Drew's a heel. Like, no, what did he say?
Basically, he stated that he think he said one, wrestling hurts, and everything hurts. So he think that Travis Scott, when he looked at that and then compared to everything he's got going on, probably just backed down and said, I can't.
Oh, okay. Changed his mind. He was all in it. Okay.
See,
that would make
sense.
Here's
the thing about Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
Y'all may not want to admit, folks, he's one of the boys.
He's definitely one of the boys now.
The mystique of Logan Paul being an influencer is gone.
No, he's a full-time wrestler.
He's a full-time wrestler now. And he said, like, yeah, I'd like to see him make a run at it. Once he gets his schedule, once he gets, his career kind of toes down, he said, I'd love to see him really take this and make a run at it full-time. And I was sitting there like, but you was an influencer, but that's why I think, you look at like people like Brock Lesnar sit down and talk with. That's why the boys love Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So I do think that because if you look at heel turn, you always compare Cena to Hogan, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at the night it turned, you can make an argument for either one of them. I will listen to an argument for either one of them, right? Mm-hmm. It's the execution afterwards that where if it made, the perception that Cena's fell flat. I actually love the whole thing because especially he's not wearing the colors, and I don't know.
He tried.
But like what I mean is, if y'all, I really wish y'all could have been inside that arena, the stadium for SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Because
you talk about this often. You bring us up a lot about this moment.
Those colors, when those colors went up,
came back, yeah,
it felt like the place shook. And the only time I felt a place shake like that was WrestleMania 28.
You're saying the colors from the Titantron and everything, not like his shirt or anything. You're talking about
it's the Titantron.
Yeah, because you said the colors. I was like, wait a minute. No, you mean the entrance?
Yeah, because during the heel turn, it was obviously
black
all
and white,
and then it was that brief pause, and then it was like, nope, the color's back, and everybody was like,
hey, he's really bad.
Yeah. They weren't going to let him stay here for I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with him at either Brian H. Is because the people knew this was it for him, and they were not going to let him. Hey, shout out to D Willie in the building.
Wood.
That's our guy, Drew Willingham. Please check out the In or Out Sports Debate because the struggle is real to be awesome.
Hold on.
Wow. Oh, Dylan. Brother, he was outside of Piggy's house with the jukebox and the mixtape. How fitting.
Yeah. I love when y'all pull up to the room. I gotta say that. And I know I don't speak too half, but yeah, I love when everybody pull up. No, Vaughn. Gorse don't have me blocked. Gorse is the homie. He don't have me blocked. Right. Swerve got me blocked. That's what he's talking about.
We gotta get that situated, bro. We gotta have a sit down. Brothers can't choose. We can't be like. We gotta stick together.
Bro, every time I see him, it's love.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like we gotta say, hey man, listen. I don't know if I offended you or something, but anyways, we'll get back to that. But to the fans after a while, like man, we don't care if you're a bad guy. I'm a bad guy too. And after a while, it was like, bro, they're not gonna let him stay heel for so long because he was still after a while he was still getting cheered.
Yeah,
like it was.
That was the funny part.
Yeah, it was like you can boo him, but we were like booing like, this is fun to boo John Cena because we know he's trying to be healed. It's like, oh crap. John Cena's like, they really don't believe I'm a bad guy at this point. Like,
he looked the same. He looked exactly like it was like he even said, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it." He like, it's okay, and still selling spinners.
Yeah,
I have one for every city.
Spinners. And it was like, all right, well, so I didn't mind it because you look at his run. It's been about a year, I guess, or however long it's been. It's been face, heel, face. It's John Cena's having a bad day. He got to exercise some, show some reins, and now he's like, you know what? I was having a bad day. I'm back to being me.
Dang,
but it did work.
There?
Though. It did work though. At the end of the day, because guess what? People did have a better appreciation for John Cena when he came back as a face. You know, even if it was just. I heard less people complaining about John Cena or booing, or it was like all that kind of went out the window because it's kind of oh wow, he really could have finished this whole heel run and we wouldn't have had these fun moments. But then we got what we got. You know what I mean? You got AJ Styles, you got Cody Rhodes, and it's like, yeah, forget that Travis Scott and then Rock storyline. The John Cena gave us his best last match with Cody Rhodes, and then him and AJ Styles wrote the last chapter of his book. They wrote a love letter to wrestling together. You know what I mean? Two guys that paralleled each other in career. And then you also have AJ Styles on his way out too as well. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, how fitting. And you know, we don't get that if he doesn't turn back face.
And remember, he said it. He said him and AJ. He said, "What if you have a tribute to everybody in TNA, and I do to everybody in WWE?" And we saw that, but to hear him say that, like that was their plan. And for it to be executed that way, that's a match you could play every year and have a different story every time you watch it.
Just because.
You can say, oh, it was good. And it was like, oh, this is what wrestling and entertainment blended together is supposed to be. He gave us the wrestling with him and Cody because that was a heck of a story.
Yeah.
Every part of that match was a story. Yeah. Then he said, okay, let me go ahead and give you this love letter. And him and beautiful AJ. And then he said, let me show the world what they're going to get with Dominic Mysterio. Let me give you what you can expect. This is that moment that you're going to always say about Dominic. What he probably was trying to do for Austin Theory, but it fell so flat. What he tried to do for Solo Sikoa, I think it was the wrong time for those two. But this, he made it right with Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, it was to see him, like you said, try to work with some young talent before, you know, he could walk away like, look, I have a handful of dates. There's certain people that I feel like, hey, these are the ones that are up next. Let me continue to add to what they gave us. So, you know, we talked about this. Two more things, and we got to move on. We're going to briefly talk about Saturday Night's main event. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because this is about John Cena. Talk about some let's talk about some of our favorite John Cena moments. If there's a moment or two that made you go, this is where, like, okay, peak John Cena for me was this is what it was. And it, you know, and any other moment that made you either respect John Cena or like him more, or stuff that always is going to stand out in your mind. What's some of our favorite John Cena moments?
Man, him and I enjoyed the stories leading up to him and Daniel Bryan. And I think because they went in a different direction. I thought going into it, you know, this is the beginning of Total Divas. So it felt like they was going to do something where it was like, okay, they're going to make the match on Total Divas because they got to get that show over. But they didn't. And I just love, like, it was, you know, he was like, all right, I'm the champ. Who deserves it more? Daniel Bryan. And that, like, really put Daniel Bryan over into that main event conversation as a babyface. Because we had seen him as the heel when he was the world champion. But that put him in as a babyface. And also, you know, U.S. Open John Cena in 2015.
Yeah, that was dope.
Fun. Yeah, that was fun because it felt like, you know, he didn't, like what he said to Roman Reigns in that one promo. You looked at the Intercontinental title as a demotion, or U.S. title as a demotion. He said, well, he looked at it as an opportunity.
Right. He said that. He's verified that on one of his interviews as well. Mm-hmm. How about you, brother guy? You got any favorite moments of John Cena?
So my absolute favorite moment of John Cena of all times will always be, and nothing will ever top this, and it was, I can't even remember the year, but went to DC for a car show and he was there and so was Tori Wilson. Well, of course, you got to get there early to be lined up and everything. And he was due to come out about 2 o'clock. So we there about 10, 11 o'clock in the day, standing in line. It's probably about only like 10, 15 people in front of me. And we were at the point where you could see John Cena walk in. He walks in, he turns and comes straight to the table. And we're all in shock because we're like, wait a minute, he's not due to be out here for 2 hours. And to watch this man interact with every single person, knowing that he's on a time crunch, knowing that he's early, and to hear him say, I couldn't have y'all wait for 2 hours when all they was going to do have me sit in the back. So he not only came over there early, met every single fan, shook their hand, signed every autograph where they wanted and what color they wanted. To me, shows that he understood the business at an earlier time. And this is a man that truly cared about fans. Because what person that's that big in WWE, and this is like spinner, main event, probably like multi-time world champion, said he came over because he saw the line. And he said he had, like, pretty much, I got to be here for y'all. That, to me, spoke so much volumes about not only is he a company guy, he's just a good guy that appreciates the fans. So I will always hold that part special because I'm like, wow, he could have been sitting relaxing, doing whatever he wanted, but he gave the fans 2 additional hours because he saw it. You know what I mean? Not too many wrestlers do that. There's been one other person that did something similar. I'm sorry, 2 people that did something similar, but they did it on the back end. He did it on the front side. He started early. So that's my number 1 favorite. I already said number 2. And the other moment has to be the U.S. Challenge, the U.S. Open Challenge, because we got to see our favorites in a spot that we knew that they deserved. We got to see them do things that we knew they could do. And John Cena, the number 1 guy, saying, no, give me Sami Zayn, give me Cesaro, give me Zack Ryder. And actually having these matches like, whoa. And then to put them over in that moment, I'm like, this is what wrestling should be. It shouldn't be, this guy from the indie scene, I bury him, my finisher in 30 seconds and he's done. No, it was actually an impactful match and it works. And every time he got that U.S. title, he made it feel important and special. So that way you knew, no, this got some weight to it. Yeah, it's a mid-card title, but it's got some weight to it. So let's treat it as such.
Right.
He ain't lying.
Well said, brother guy. Well said. Very, very key components, man. John Cena has always been rather giving, to the product and also to himself. One of the major moments, the point where I was like probably the biggest John Cena fan, when I was like, yo, I'm really rocking with this dude, is around, I guess 05, 06 ish, when Jericho was on his way out and he started his feud with Kurt Angle. Like that to me, like right before Kurt Angle was out the door, I was like, John Cena single-handedly changed how I look at a lot of things. He caused me I hated that spinner. I hated him when he had the United States Championship belt. I didn't like the design that it was. And then when he decided to win a belt and he turned it to a spinner belt, I'm like, bro, you're making it worse. And then when he won the Undisputed Championship, I was always excited.
He made it worse.
Made it worse. I was like, bro, what are you doing? It's because the United States Championship was one of my favorite titles. When WWE debuted it and it was small, I didn't like it. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And then I'm like, he won it. He said, I'm gonna change it up. I'm like, okay, cool. And it spins. I'm like, bro, this is not what I'm talking about. Same thing when he won the WWE Championship. He gets it. I'm like, okay, cool. He's gonna change it. He spins it. I'm like, bro, this is terrible. That belt eventually grew. By the time he got to Raw, and it was, he's the only person that got me to be like, yo, I really like this belt now. Like this belt's kind of threw me for a loop. It grew on me. But in 06, 05, 06 was like when John Cena was at the top of his game. TNA was trying to creep up, but that's what I remember the most. And I'm like, yo, he's that dude. And his feud with Jericho on his way out the door, and right after Kurt Angle came in, that's one of my favorite feuds. Out of all the stuff they've done. We could stay there for another hour and a half talking about John Cena.
Are you talking about when John Cena told him put him in the walls of Jericho? I'm sorry, in the Lion Tamer and not the walls of Jericho? And he said he could take it. Oh, you talking about that feud, right?
I'm
assuming he told him he could. Okay, I just want to make sure that was the same feud because he told him put him in the Lion Tamer, which is different than the walls of Jericho.
Oh yeah,
I've seen. And he said because he could take it. Yes.
But yeah, so Jericho was on his way out. This is he was like, all right, I'm not special anymore. And he would come back years later. think 3 years later, like 08, I guess. But that was when I was like, yo, John Cena's really that dude. And I embraced him as like, this is the guy leading the charge. You know, he's been that guy for a while, but that was the time that I really enjoyed with John Cena. There's a lot of moments that you know, you can really, really pinpoint. But man, when John Cena was at that point to me at that level, you know, he was kind of like post hip hop, kind of military guy, kind of straightforward. And you know, it's his opponents kind of would come and go, but you know, the matches he had with Triple H, the matches he had with Shawn Michaels, and just that whole era. I know we give the Russian era a hard time, but it was a wonderful era. Don't get me wrong. A lot of memories. That was the era that we were young adults in, and we got to enjoy the product, and we started to do things and have conversations. Of course, we wanted more, but it's not like what they didn't give us wasn't really, really good. It was just for us. It wasn't for the rest of the world. Wrestling has become more of a product for the mainstream now versus before. It was very niche, and Vince McMahon kept it that way. He put on the best show for the wrestling fan versus now it's like, no, I'm not. I can admit it. Vince, he did. When we go live, we need to have the conversation about the difference of the presentation of pro wrestling. Because I was sitting there thinking the other day, and this is Bryan H's fault because he keeps doing this.
What I do? No,
because I have one thought, but then I have another philosophical thought because that's how we approach pro wrestling. And I was like, we got to do this on the Wrestling Realm live show on Instagram, on TikTok, however we decide to do it. But I'm like, I noticed two things when it comes, and this is why John Cena was such a big star. So this all ties in. Vince McMahon used to the shows during the Ruthless Aggression era, they looked so much. The perception was they were so much more big and impressive. We had big sets, big Titantrons, big music, big pyro. You know what I mean? The perception was it was such a big event, but the reality was it wasn't in comparison to now, right? Versus now, it seems like it's all about the stats. You know what I mean? The attendance records, the stuff sold, the records being broken, but it doesn't always feel big. Like when you see Monday Night Raw, it was even the production was different. Now it's much more low key look. It's kind of dark everywhere versus, you know, how Kevin Dunn used to produce television. Everything was big lights, big pyro, the product looks so much larger than life. But the reality is it was very niche towards us versus now it's like, it doesn't always look larger than life. But when you see the numbers, it's like, this is having much more success as far as the quantity of what they're putting out versus the way it used to be. So it's always this debate, like what has been more important over time? The fact that it looks larger than life and our experience and our memories and which make us wrestling fans, or is it the actual stats and the company growth, the stuff that we may not see or may not be highlighted, but the reality is the numbers are the numbers. Well, it's just, something to think about. But, John Cena, he played a major factor in that, and him being at the forefront during that time period, man, you couldn't do anything without John Cena. And it's going to be tough to see him go. He's had quite a career. He's had quite a few. I don't know how this is all going to end with Gunta. John Cena has been doing Shakespeare. He's been slowing everything down ever since Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. He's been done wrestling. Now he's putting on performances, and he's doing Shakespeare. What are you thinking?
Gunther gonna put him in the dirt.
I feel that I was thinking that because it's obvious, but everybody think about it. If everybody knows he's retiring, I can't help but think they're saying, what can we do to kind of make this a to be continued? It's kind of like the movie where it's like, hey, look, everybody knows this is the last movie, but it may not be the last time we see this character. So we got to let people know somehow this is a to be continued. It may not be in this format, but the character does live on. You know what I mean? So how do we do that? Because it can't be, all right, well, listen, you see, you can't be like, okay, well, this is the last movie. Everybody knows it. We've already announced this is the last time we're going to see this movie. He's not getting his own movies anymore, but we got to do something to say, hey, look, tune in, because another 2 years, he's going to show up in another movie. He's got to get his revenge, but it's not going to be a John Cena feature. It's going to be like a group feature featuring John Cena. He's going to continue a certain story that ended. You see what I'm saying? Because he's made it clear, I'm going to be around. And he didn't say for another year and a half. He said 5 years. That's a long-term deal. So not to say that the story has to go, but maybe it goes in a different space where he's not wrestling, but it they threw around the idea, what if The Rock comes out as a surprise? Like, oh, you thought you were done? Yeah, you think you retire? He may be retired from in-ring, but think about it. Imagine The Rock does come out and goes, I have your soul. You're not retiring anything until I say you're retiring. And then John Cena walks out.
Say it the right way. Say it the right way. His soul.
Your soul. John, we're far from done. I've got your soul. And then think about it. Imagine John Cena has his goodbye moment. Thank you, Cena. And then the Rock's music hits. And then John Cena walks out confused, like, dang. Now that's a to be continued. We're like, crap. I thought John Cena's retiring. Now we're like, wait a minute. The Rock just said he can't retire. And I got something up your sleeve. You know, the Rock will disappear for another 6 months. So for 6 months, we trying to figure out what the heck is the Rock talking about. John Cena didn't argue with him. There's something that's going on that John Cena's not telling everybody. And then John Cena goes, I can't really talk about it, Kathy. This is some technicalities. I'm supposed to be retired. I'm done. Doesn't matter what the Rock say, but I got to get this figured out because I don't know if I can now. John Cena's an actor. So what if he says that? Look, I'm supposed to. I don't know if I can now. I need to figure this out. And then he disappears. He can go away. Him and the Rock go away. And we're going to be on Monday like, yo, what in the world just happened? Trying to figure out. So when John Cena does pop up, he may not be an in-ring performer, but the storyline can continue. And whatever role he plays, I don't know. This is me thinking this because of the way things have gone. I just don't think I don't see it being that easy as Gunther putting a hole in his chest and he walks off to the sunset. It may be. It may be that simple. But I don't know.
That's the fact that Kevin Owens was working out on X and he's still around. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I feel like Kevin Owens got to do something between The Rock and Kevin Owens. I feel like Kevin Owens need to take Gunther out, and he's the person for Cena's last match. But they like Gunther too much. I was hoping he was going to be a surprise.
Gunther's a player. Maybe Gunther beats him. He gives him his respect. He walks away, and Kevin Owens beats him up even more. Comes out and that's the return of Kevin Owens, and you can get some heat on him. Honestly, I don't know because I don't know what's next.
Gunther's beat up and Kevin Owens saves him. I don't know. You got to think weird with Triple H. Whatever you don't think, Triple H is going to give us something crazy.
They need
he's going to do something wild.
Kevin Owens is the easy bad guy, but Anyway, John Cena, it's been a heck of a career, brothers. We got Saturday night's main event, man. You guys excited for this show?
Listen, no, I thought. I was going to say that. Which one you start with that?
No, just in general.
Can we start with Cody Raheem? I just want to make one comment.
Yeah, we don't got a whole lot of time to get into the entire show, but just collectively.
I was excited that Oba got the title back, but I was less excited when Javon Evans didn't win because I said, can you imagine if Javon Evans and Cody Rhodes had a match? That would probably be better. Well, I would forget about Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara because Javon Evans and Cody, I think, would have been a way better match than Oba and Cody. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think this is going to be a banger like people are expecting it. But Oba and Javon, they're dance partners from now on. They can't. You got to keep them. You got to get them back together some kind of way.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an introduction match for Oba. This is just to show the world who he is, because the mainstream audience may not be familiar with him.
Facts.
He's going to get out there, and they're going to be like, "Yo, who the heck is that dude standing across from Cody?" But he's going to look strong, right? Think about it. He's a champion. The mainstream audience may not be familiar with NXT, but when he gets in that ring, they're going to be like, "Yo, who is this big dude, bro?" And Cody's always going to sell it. He's not going to go in there like, "I don't care who he is. I'm the champion." He's going to be like, "Oh." You know what I mean? Cody has that. He has that gene.
Gotta get him over.
Yeah, he's got that gene where he's like, okay, I can win and make you look strong even in a loss. That's a skill. Gunther has it. I just watched Shawn Michaels. I watched Shawn Michaels and Ken Shamrock on the WWE Vault from the DX Break It Down pay-per-view. Shawn Michaels was a master at it. I see why Ric Flair loves him so much, because Ric Flair does it, and then Shawn Michaels just takes it to a whole different space. Like, how could somebody be such a prick off the camera but be so giving in the ring to a lot of people he probably didn't even like, but he knew the importance of making your dance partner look a certain type of way even when you get the win, and it does a lot for your character. But anyways,
I think after Saturday night's main event, more people are going to tune in to NXT because I feel like Ricky Saint's going to have something to do with this match too.
Yeah,
and that's going to fuel the, oh my God, is he on Cody's side or what?
Yeah, the Saturday night's main events are always to be continued to me. They're there to continue to move things along.
Exactly.
So I expect a lot of we always leave these shows with questions, and I think it's of course because you're meant to follow up on Raw. Hey, it's Saturday.
But why does Dragon Lee look like that?
He's so excited.
I hate that. This match is going to be insane. This is going to lead us to AJ to Leon Slater, isn't it? That's what that's going to lead to.
It's probably. I think AJ has a quiet TNA run. We'll see what happens with that. You know, I mean, why not? You know, but you know, there's going to be a lot of new faces. We got Bailey, we got Sol Ruka.
This
is all black people in the card except the Cena match.
That's what I'm saying, though. So it's just pretty much. Well, what about this one? Let's go.
Yeah, except
for Cena.
Oh, okay, except for Cena match. My fault. I'm tripping.
Yeah, it's all black people.
Bailey about to make you pay attention to Sol Ruka anymore, even more. You pay attention on SmackDown. Bailey about to her and Sol Ruka match could be the underdog. Oh wow, I didn't know that this match was that important on the show. Yeah. Every match is going to deliver, but this is going to be one you were like, oh, that was really good.
Nah, yeah, this is, you can tell they putting this is NXT's pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
That's what John Cena won.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's why he
ain't picked everybody.
I mean, I'm sure they had like, hey man, how do you want the card to be? It's like a boxing match, you know. You get to choose, you know, your undercard. So this is about NXT. This is introduction to the world. I think this is what they're probably going to start to use Saturday night's main event for after a while. You feel me?
So they can merge in the worlds together, like basically said, here they are.
It brought it back for branding purposes. We brought back Jesse the Body to say, hey, look, y'all remember the show we used to do? Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Okay, cool. Now we're going to use it for something else because think about it, it doesn't have the same retro vibes. Jesse's contract is up. It's like, all right, cool. That now that people are all in with these things, no pun intended, AEW. Now they're like, okay, cool. Now let's use this for the way we want to use it, not just, all right, you know, every couple of weeks we got to do one of these shows. It's like, nah, it's different, you know. So, but you know, I'm looking forward to the show. It's going to be really, really good. Like I said, anytime I get wrestling on the weekends, come on now, it's choice. It's fun. Anytime I get big time wrestling, I'm glued to my TV. I got something to do on a Saturday night. I'm always for it. And you know, early starts time. Show starts at 8:00. Coverage most likely begins around 7:30, 7 or 7:30. But man, it should be really good. What's that? AEW would never do so. I still think Jericho's going to end up going back to AEW once if he doesn't get the response he wants in WWE, or you know, he kind of falls by the wayside again. He'll go back. He'll just go back to, you know, AEW, and they'll do another like Sting. But anyways, follow us on all our social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. Follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _. Go to youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Playlist Championship Culture to catch up on everything in season 4. Go back and watch all the bonus episodes, all the unboxings, season 3, season 2, season 1. So you guys can get yourselves ready for the return of Championship Culture when they do. I know they're gonna come back with some serious heat, man, because this is kind of what we do. The Wrestling Realm is in such a content creator space. It doesn't matter how long we've been doing this. We adapt with the times, and we're, like I said, it's insane, but literally we're just getting started. We're planning stuff. We got so much that in the pipeline. It's going to be fun, but you know, it's also going to be fun watching John Cena have his last match this weekend. It's going to be a special moment, man, as wrestling fans. So I think we should all enjoy it. We're going to get out of here. We thank you. We appreciate you for hanging with us, having this conversation with us as well. But like I say, as usual, wrestling fans, stay wrestling fans. Like what you like, love what you love. Don't let all this other foolishness get in the way. Enjoy yourself. Brother Hugh, you're a great man for doing what you're doing. Continue to save the wheels.
Cleaning the wheels.
On that note, we out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody got anything last anything? Anybody got stuff coming up? No? Okay. All right. Let's call.
My time is up. My time is now.
That's perfect. We out. That's perfect.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestling realm.